We thank our sponsors again, as always, the Crawford Farms, the Sugar Valley Farms. Joe McLeod, just a stone's throw away from the fairgrounds. Now, Mr. Bean Coney, it's your job to hype these big guaranteed pools today. There's that photo with Osturch holding on. So tell us about this pick 4.
Well, it's a good one. You start out with the second division of the Ohio Breeders' Championship for the 2-year-old colts and geldings that have the undefeated Elver Hanover rematch against Ocean Rock, who set a world record at Northfield back in August. So that's the 9th race. The 10th and 11th are then the 3-year-old colt and gelding pacers in 8 and 9 horse fields. And the 11th race has Rock Candy, Black Hole, and Yankee Boots. Black Hole and Yankee Boots are racing well enough right now. They could have been in the jug. I mean, seriously, that's the kind of horses they are. And then the 12th race, there's a horse called Wiggle It Jiggle It. You might have heard he's returning from a layoff. I don't know if you really heard much about that.
I heard a little bit of something, and, I think we got to talk to his driver before, but it's going to be a special moment when he steps back out onto the racetrack. There he is, warming up. So how is he settling in? He hasn't been here in 3 years, so that's the first time he has stepped back out onto the track here. I think he looks great. Of course, he's not going very fast yet, but
right.
Unbelievable, and hopefully the fans will recognize him from this footage earlier on.
And we've got Go Cash King here, Garnett Barnsdale, with us, who knows a lot more about handicapping than probably either of us.
I don't know about that.
He cashes more tickets, I can tell you
maybe that. Okay. Anybody you like in this upcoming pick 4, 9 through 12?
You know what? I singled Elver Hanover just to kick it off. I'm not 100% confident in that because I think the 2 best horses are lined up on the outside and there's some speed on the inside. But I think he shows more versatility. The 10th race, I think you probably got to beat Native Sweet Lou, but I took a few in there, thinking that one's a little bit more wide open. I took the 3 horses you mentioned here. In the 11th, Rock Candy, Black Hole, and Yankee Boots, and I didn't single Wiggle It Jiggle It. I think Night Pro can give him a good tussle, and you know what? If they hook up, maybe this Celestial Arden might pick them both up. So I'm hoping if I make it to that far, maybe I'll maybe live for a couple prices, and obviously Wiggle It Jiggle It, who I think is going to be the chalk, despite the 6-1 morning line quote here, especially with Lion Snyder out. That kind of leaves it open for him to step to the front right away, I think.
Yeah, I think that was a big plus for Wiggle It that Lion Snyder scratched out of there.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the voice of Garnett Barnsdale from DRF Harness. And you got a couple other jobs up there, don't you?
I do have a couple other jobs. I actually, most people in the world probably don't know that I have a full-time job that has absolutely nothing to do with harness racing. I'm the supervisor of waste collections for the region of Peel, which is 3 cities right next to Toronto that have 330,000 residents. So I have to keep them happy and keep their waste picked up.
He's like the Canadian Tony Soprano. He's a waste manager.
That's exactly what it is.
Right. Yes.
And then I was actually writing a column for HRU up there when you called me that I'm going to finish and send to them. And tonight I got to do some handicapping for Ontario Racing. So it's always kind of working vacations for me. But if we didn't love it, we wouldn't do it, right?
That's for sure. And, we had that wonderful footage. Thanks, guys, for pulling that up there of Wiggle It, Jiggle It, jogging and warming up earlier. To me, his signature is always that big white shadow roll.
Absolutely.
That covers.
And the rigging, the white rigging.
Well, yeah, that part of it, too. But he looked absolutely great. So we get to see Wiggle It, Jiggle It a little bit later on this afternoon. So one guy we do have to get to, I don't know whether he picked Wiggle It, Jiggle It later or not, but Mr. Pacey Minlin's going to have some selections here for race 9. Another Ohio Breeders' Championship for over $64,000. The marquee matchup coming up next. Which way did the Wiz go?
Race number 9 on today's card for Miami Valley Gaming. One of the big races on the program. $64,000. The 2-year-old Ohio Colt Breeders' Race. And I'll tell you what, the 2 best colts in Ohio, Elver Hanover, number 6, Ron Burke, trains the winner, 6 for 6 this year. Winner of the $300,000 final at Northfield on 9-1 meets Ocean Rock. Danny Noble trains the Rocket Amadeus, 2-year-old with a record of 51 and a piece on a half-mile oval. This is going to be some battle. 6 and 7 going to meet. You'll want to watch this one. They both have the outside. They both want to get there first. This is going to be some kind of battle. Can Noble get to the first turn? Or will Chris Page get to the first turn? Or will Sanford Court, the Brian Brown, Nob Hill High get there first? Very interesting race and a good one. 6-7-3-1 in one of the better races on today's program. Pace, baby, pace for Miami Valley Gaming.
He isn't kidding. This is one of the better races this afternoon, that marquee matchup between Elver Hanover and Ocean Rock. Garnet, thanks again for sitting with us on the set. I want to ask you one quick question here because I know it's hard for me. How do you tailor or adjust your handicapping and handicapping style to Delaware and the half-mile track?
I think this track more than others, post is very important. So I kind of, like in this race here, even like I said, I singled this 6-horse, but there could be something weird happen with these 2 horses on the outside if Ronnie Wren decides to hang them both out for a while. So I think you gotta incorporate the post position, and the other thing is you got to be forwardly placed on this track. Horses seem to live forever on the outside here, so look for aggression, look for sharp horses, and inside post mainly.
All right. Well, we've got 7 of them coming up here. There's the Bugle, $64,000 on the line in this Ohio Breeders' Championship. 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings.
These are the horses' 9th race, post-printing Ohio Breeders' Championship. 2-year-old colt and gelding pace, $64,200. Number 1 is Gray Dragon. Emerald Highlands Farm, Mount Vernon, Ohio. Virgil Morgan Jr. trained. Brett Miller, the 1, Gray Dragon. Number 2 is Cody Hanover. Lionel Wadaker of Zanesville, Ohio. Lionel Wadaker trains. Derek Wadaker drives the 2, Cody Hanover. Number 3 is Stanford Court. Robert Mondello, Richard Lombardo. InShot Stable, Lightning 5 Racing Stable. Brian Brown trains. Ronnie Wren Jr., the 3, Stanford Court. Number 4, Hot Shot McJeffers. Rebecca Ewing of Apple Creek, Ohio. Dan Ader trained. David Miller, the 4, Hot Shot McJeffers. Number 5 is Rock Smart. Stephen Sexton of Xenia, Ohio. Brett Swartz trains. Tyler Smith, the 5, Rock Smart. Number 6 is Elver Hanover. Burke Racing Stable. B. Jablonski, Jay Malillo, J&T Silva, Purnell Libby. Ron Burke trains. Chris Page, the 6, Elver Hanover. And number 7 is Ocean Rock. Sandra Burnett of Wilmington, Ohio. Dan Noble trains and drives the 7, Ocean Rock. Win, play, show, perfecta, trifecta. A guaranteed $15,000 pool for the pick 4. Races 9, 10, 11, and 12. Pick 4 guaranteed at $15,000, and it starts in race 9. Don't be shut out. Wager now.
I don't know about you, Dave, but I've been waiting for this race all day. We've got 2 very talented colts in here, and we want to send a special thank you on the last turn to the Ashelman barn. The package arrived, and
yes,
they will understand that. Thank you very much, Bobby and company. We hope you're having a blast over there. Never misses Little Brown Jug Day, Mr. Ashelman. I guarantee he's got the biggest RV over there. Good and, folks.
You know, this race goes a ways, and you know who's going to be a horse of the year in Ohio as well.
Okay.
Elver Hanover's undefeated. He gets a big look, but certainly the horse that won it last year, even though he hasn't raced at Ohio this year, deserves a big look. His name's Lather Up. So you know, it depends. Can you give it to Lather Up again, even though he hadn't even raced Ohio this year? You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't, but
yeah. But we're glad he's an Ohio bred.
I was hoping we were going to get a little better update from Montreal about Lather Up, but I understand. Got scratched out of the, I guess it was the Canadian Pacing Derby, right?
Right.
Do I have the right race there?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, his performances, you know, in the early part of the summer were just absolutely breathtaking. And you know what? I picked against him, I think, each and every week. So what was wrong with me?
You know, I get it. I mean, when he is right, he is just unreal. But then when he's not totally right, he could break. You know, a little funny. But man, when he is right, he is as fast as there's ever been.
The ups and downs of racehorses, they don't stay good forever. We know that.
And that's what you try to explain to people. They can't stay that sharp every start. They can't pace in 46, 52 weeks a year.
He did it in like 3 straight starts.
Right.
You know, the effort and I think it was the Graduate. He equaled the all-time harness racing record of 146 flat. So hopefully we'll get a little more information and we'll get to see the great Lather Up on the track for Team Teague a little bit later on. So again, guaranteed pick 4 action here, $15,000, and it's already way up over the guarantee. I'm looking out at the board in the infield, $20,653, and we've still got about a good 2 or 3 minutes to post. So good job, boss.
Yeah, these are. I mean, this was easy. These are some good races today with some good matchups in them for sure.
1 to 2, the current price on the horse on your screen. That is Elver Hanover. He's getting Lasix today for the first time.
I didn't know what to make of that because he's coming in off a spectacular performance in the Sire Stakes final. I thought it was kind of, maybe he just bled just a touch after that, and they wanted to, just in case. I mean, there are different amounts of Lasix you can give a horse too. So
when it comes to the Burke Brigade, though, I trust them implicitly. They almost always make the right.
Ronnie is almost as good as a trainer as I am. It's close.
You're a trainer of what?
my Labrador Retriever.
Your dogs.
Yeah.
Your dog. Okay. All right. I'm a trainer of learning how to pick losers. That's not really true, but we'll see how it goes. We've seen the Mike Webkenberg starting gate pass in front of the stand, so that usually gives me the cue that I've got about a minute or a good 45 seconds before he calls them to the gate here. Let's talk about maybe a couple of the inside competitors. Brian Brown's got Stanford Court coming in from Scioto. He won one of those consolations. I know that's a little bit below the best, but if we were to get things a little bit western from the 2 outside posts, would he have a chance?
Yeah, I mean, and he won from the 9 hole there. He just missed making the Sire Stakes final, which sometimes turns out good. To win the consolation when it's 75,000 isn't that bad, but he's right back in the majors today.
The 1 is Gray Dragon, Brett Miller, Super Brett for Virgil Morgan Jr. and Bruce Trogdon's Emerald Highland Farms. He co-bred this horse with James Sproul. Son of Dragon again. Post 8 to the pole. That's a good handicapping angle for me.
Yeah, so, we've been talking about Elver Hanover and Ocean Rock a lot, but these other 5 aren't slouches, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to bring them into the mix here. Here's Roger.
In the start of this race, we have a late scratch involving this pick 4. In the 11th race, scratch number 5, Shama Lama. Scratch number 5, Shama Lama in race 11. Now, if you've wagered through ExpressBet or any of the other off-track wagering sites, you will have the favorite in the 11th race if you wagered on the 5. Here at Delaware or at a simulcast location, you can get a new ticket, or you can keep the ticket that you have if you wagered on Shama Lama and have the betting favorite. So it's your option. But in the 11th race, scratch the 5, Shama Lama. And we will take a few minutes before we go to the post here in the 9th.
So that changes the complexion of the pick 4 a little bit. As you heard, 11th race, the 5, Shama Lama. Makes Black Hole and Yankee Boots' life a little easier in that race from the outside post. So it looks like they're going to give the fans a couple minutes to exchange their tickets. Again, very late scratch here. Coming up in race 11, the 3rd leg of this early guaranteed pick 4, the 5, Shama Lama, is out.
And we're going to give everybody here at the fairgrounds and at your simulcast location everywhere a little bit more time to make that decision and possibly reconfigure your ticket. So we've got a little extra time here. Let's see if I can get some social media goings on. Checking in on Facebook here. No, not really. A couple of photos, new photos up at Harness Racing Foodies from Anne-Marie Fidundelli. Anne-Marie and her husband Dan. Probably coming off a good, hopefully, New York Super Night. Got a couple of New York breds that are in the jug today. That's a big accomplishment for them. They had such a special evening last Saturday at Batavia. Shake That House, Artie's Ideal, and American Mercury, all bred in the Empire State.
They got a very good, and then Hick from French Lick was the head of the class in there. They had a great year.
He could have been good enough to race here.
They had a great year. The New York 3-year-old Colton Geldings. That was a tough group.
I was almost a little depressed because when they interviewed Ray Schnicker, Heather interviewed him, by the way, up at Batavia that night. I just wanted him to say, we're going to bring him down to the Red Mile for Grand Circuit. No, he said he's got a couple of races in Indiana and then he's done.
But he's not in tomorrow in Indiana, I don't think.
Maybe is it
maybe
a division?
Something
is it a
later.
leg?
Maybe it's something later.
I think he wanted to give him a week off after that tremendous performance. Matt Kikali with the big drive there. All right, the gate is rolling. You're out of time here if you wanted to change that ticket. So Ohio's Breeders' Championship coming up next. 2-year-old pacing Colts and Geldings. We think it's Elver Hanover versus Ocean Rock. What do you think? Roger will tell us.
Ohio Breeders' Championship, 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers in behind the gate. The gate swings around the turn, and there they go. and pacing, going for the lead as they race into the turn. Inside, Cody Hanover. Outside, Stanford Court. 4 wide into the turn. Ocean Rock now second and going right on. Elver Hanover and Chris Page took a seat 4th early on. Hot Shot McJeffers is 5th. 6th is Gray Dragon. Treading the field down the backside, Rock Smart. And we've got a battle going to the first quarter. 26-1 as they race into the turn. On the outside, Ocean Rock up on the inside as they race around the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. It's Cody Hanover. Cody Hanover on the inside. Ocean Rock is hung on the outside, racing third. Stanford Court as they pass the stand for the first time, coming to the halfway point, racing fourth. Elver Hanover halfway home in 54-1. Second panel in 28. And the battle continues into the turn. Cody Hanover and Derek Wadiger on the inside. Outside, Ocean Rock and Dan Noble. Closing the gap, Stanford Court and Ronnie Wren Jr. And right on his back, down the backside, Elver Hanover and Chris Page. Going to go 3 and 4 wide at the 3-quarter mark. We got new leaders. Stanford Court, 3 quarters, 123-1. Backside in 29. And now here comes Chris Page. Elver Hanover on the outside. Racing third on the outside. Hot Shot McJeffers. Into the lane they come. Nose, nose, nose. Stride for stride. Toe to toe. They're going to battle final 8th. Stanford Court. Elver Hanover on the outside. Elver Hanover on the outside. Stanford Court second. 1:52 3/5.
Elver Hanover picking up the pieces in what was a suicidal cutthroat speed duel on the lead. Dave, what on earth was going on into the first turn and into the backstretch?
I really don't understand what the sense of it was. I'm going to be honest. Danny Noble is pretty hot crossing the wire.
I imagine he is, and there might be some few choice words for Derek Wadiger on the inside. We're going to pick things up at the start into the first turn. Derek Wadiger with Cody Hanover. He's looking to protect inside position here. 3 wide, looping Elver Hanover is Dan Noble with Ocean Rock. Here, why doesn't he just grab up and let him go? He certainly looks like he's got him within, grabbable capability. It doesn't look like he's pulling his arms out. Just won't let him go.
You'd think he would want to take a 2-hole trip to Ocean Rock, but obviously he was hell-bent for the lead and ended up costing both of them. At some point, maybe Noble would drop in the 2-hole too, but it was too late by then. He was halfway past.
He had him so fired up, I think it would have been much harder for him to grab up and, retreat into the 2-hole. But here they are by the stands the first time, and, at this point, Dan Noble says, well, I might as well go for it. I'm going to make this guy pay for it. And Ocean Rock, to his credit, keeps hanging in, even when Stanford Court makes the 3-wide move around him, followed by Elver Hanover. Look at Ocean Rock dig in. Finally, they get past Cody Hanover. It took 3/4 of a mile to do so. And a good battle from Stanford Court here, trying to hold off Elver Hanover. Once they straightened up, Chris Page takes over.
You know what? I hate to say this. I didn't think Elver Hanover raced as well as I've seen him in the past. He really had to chase him here to get him home. Stanford Court's a good horse, but Elver Hanover was way better in the Sire Stakes final than he was today, but it certainly worked out for him in the end.
And winning margin about 3/4 of a length. 6-3-4-5 is on the board. We see Ron Burke walking across the infield here to come take the winner's circle photo. Fans got this one right. 1-5, your off price on the winner. And working his way back to the winner's circle to a big group of the Happy Burke Brigade. There's Chris Page. There's Elver Hanover. Into the into the winner's circle they go.
Sugar Valley Farm winner's circle. The home of Down by the Seaside. Number 6, Elver Hanover. Burke Racing Stable. Jablonski, Malillo, J.T. Silva, and Purnell Levy. Ron Burke, the winning trainer. Chris Page, the winning driver. 2-year-old Gallopy Yankee Cruiser of Edra Hanover. A perfect 7 for 7 this season. Coming home a winner in 1:52 3/5 for Elver Hanover.
Caretaker for this Ohio Breeders' Champion Elver Hanover, Catherine McMillan.
Elver Hanover in the winner's circle. Of course, when you see the Hanover name, you know they were bred by the Hanover Shoe Farms. And Dr. J, Bridget Jablonski, is part of the ownership group here. This must have been one of her favorites. Gelded son of Yankee cruiser Elver Hanover in the winner's circle with a lot of the connections from yesterday's Jugette winner Warwie U Butte. Prices are in, Dave. I'll hand that one to you.
And Elver Hanover paid $260, $220, and $210. The three Stanford Court $440 and $3 for Hot Shot McJeffers. $340 to show. Your $1 Perfecta 6'3" paid $390. 50-cent try 6'3", $41.35. I cannot get used to 35 cents on the end. I just can't. There as the start of that pick 4.
All right, a very popular start to the guaranteed pick 4. I didn't get the final pool. I wanted to look over and see that just before they went behind the gate, but I saw that it was up over at least 28,000.
I think it was about over 30 by the time last time I saw it.
The minute that I got a chance to see it. Elver Hanover, owned by the Burke Brigade Racing Stable, Bridget Chmoleski, Malillo, J&T Silva, and Purnell and Libby. Like I said, many of the connections involved behind yesterday's Jugette winner, Warwie U Butte. All right, 9 races down, showing 13 minutes to post here for the 10th race as we await the order of finish. Zachary Gray on. All right, no, that's better than that. Let's send things up to Roger here. Wendy's got some connections in the winner's circle.
Let's go to the winner's circle. Wendy Ross with winning trainer Ron Burke.
Well, thank you very much, Roger. Ronnie, I have one question for you to start out. Have you recovered, have you and the crew recovered from your Jugette victory with Warwie U Butte yesterday?
Yeah, we've gotten older, so we shut it down quicker, so we're able to get up quicker. So we were excited. It's, looking back on it, we were thrilled with the performance, and so it was just glad to, win the race.
From the Jugette to the Jug here today. Let's get started with Elver Hanover. It makes it 7 for 7 today. Adds to that $250,000 plus bankroll. He has been absolutely fabulous. But you said you didn't think he was at his best today. What did you think?
Yeah, he's had a terrible 2 weeks actually coming into this. He's been great all year. Right after the final, he got sick, and basically he doesn't really have much left but this in Lexington. And being honest, it was a chance to win another Ohio Triple Crown, which we have never done going into the thing. And now with Looks Good in the Romper and this colt, we've done it twice. So that was kind of cool. And we knew all the owners would be here. And he'll find a way to win. The horse is a winner. He just figures it out, and he'll get there on his own.
Maybe we'll be talking about him this time next year as well. Let's move on to the first division of the Little Brown Jug, race 15, the 2 De Los Cios Dio. Phone's ringing as we're speaking. He's the busiest man in harness racing. This horse's nickname is called Carlos because nobody wants to say his name. How do you like Carlos today from post 2?
Actually, he trained here unbelievably on Monday. He was a last-minute decision if I was going to put him in or not. It hasn't been sharp. We brought him here. We did a lot of work on him. We trained him. He was vicious. So now I have a lot better feel. Maybe that we can be more aggressive with him, and maybe he'll show up. He has all the ability in the world.
Semi-tough from the rail in the second division in that 16th race. Maddie Kakali does the driving. I like this colt today. How do you like him?
He's going to go as far and as fast as he can. Like, he never really is great about passing, but with off the rail here, we may not have to pass anybody, or at least they're going to have to pace real fast to get around him. So, I look for Maddie to wind him up, have him as ready as he can go, and just rock him.
Ronnie, thank you so much. Congratulations. I know you got a lot more work to do.
Thank you.
Winning trainer, Ronnie Burke.
Results are official. Number 1, Gray Dragon 6. The 2, Cody Hanover 7. The 3, Stanford Court 2. The 4, Hot Shot McJeffers 3. Number 5, Rock Smart 4. Number 6, Elver Hanover, the winner. The 7, Ocean Rock 5. Top down 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5 on the bottom. The mile 152 and 3. 10th race, win, place, show. Perfecta, try, superfecta wagering. No changes in the 10th. Don't be shut out. Wager now.
Hey, Roger, you've got something for Dave?
Well, for either one of you, really. I'm not sure. I can't tell who's down there.
I think we're in trouble.
We're all 3 here now. Yeah.
It's all 3 of us now.
I have one thing to say about that last race.
Okay.
I don't think that either driver had the ability to grab their horses. And the reason I say that, when you get those horses fired up, And where drivers now have their handholds, it is very hard to take a seat. It is very hard to back off and let somebody else go. So I don't know that it was just saying Derek Wadaker was hanging Dan Noble. But if they wore the handholds where amateur drivers did, they'd be able to take a hold of their horse a little bit more. Now I'm off my soapbox.
Well, here it is, Roger. Just
well, no, this is the winner.
This is a different story.
Yeah,
this is them coming home. I'm talking about going to the quarter, down the backside, past the quarter, coming to the half. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, maybe we can pull that up in just a second. That's why we had the replay.
When you look at the video, which I was watching, Derek had his elbows all the way back as far as he could go. And I don't know how he could have taken any more of a hold on that horse.
All right, here it is, Roger. Now, you know,
look at Derek.
Yeah, I see him.
He's laying straight back.
He's a tall fellow. Derek's tall. So
yeah, but they still got their handholds too far back.
Oh, I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
It looks like he's making an attempt to try, but the horse has other ideas.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you get him fired up like that, it's very hard to back him off.
That is true. And
now you can't see Danny Noble, but he's in the same situation. I don't think Danny could have backed off either.
Not when you were 3/4 by, you know, in the initial stages. I agree with you there. So just a little bit unfortunate when you get such a big race like that with a lot of money on the line.
It totally changed the entire complexion of the race, no doubt about that.
Yes, it did. And credit to you, Mr. Bianconi. You said that you didn't think Elver Hanover was quite as sparkling as he has been in the past today, and then Ronnie Burke backed that up.
Yeah, I mean, Wendy, you know more about it. That is kind of odd to add Lasix off like the best start of your life. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's how you know, like, there's obviously, you know, some sort of an issue there. And the fact that he was, you know, getting home 26-3, 28-1. But if the horse shows that he is bleeding a little bit, I mean, you know, and most horses do. That's why we give Lasix and things like that. But so if it's an issue, and I'm sure Ronnie, to give Lasix to a 2-year-old is very rare. So he obviously thought he needed it.
All right. Well, after all those fireworks, we need a little TV timeout. So there's a look at one of the big tents, the VIP hospitality pavilions that they have circling the fairgrounds. We'll be right back to Little Brown Jug Day at the Delaware County Fairgrounds in just a moment.
Giving thanks for Christ's hand in the beauty and talent of these animals. You'll see us doing just that at training centers, at racetracks, and farms across the continent.
He was born in a stable, and when you look at the stable, we're surrounded by stables.
For the Christian Harnessed Horsemen's Association, it's our mission to keep Christ alive in harness racing. But all this good work, God's work, can't continue without help. You see, in order to meet our mission and provide faith-based support to the harness racing community, we rely on the generous donations of individuals like you. As part of our Racing for Christ program, you can pledge a small percentage of your horse's earnings to the Christian Harness Horsemen's Association to support our ministries.
Every one of you here have an opportunity to enter into heaven's. Do you know there's a winner's circle? Into heaven's winner's circle with a victory in Jesus.
Back to Little Brown Jug Day. 5 minutes coming up to race 10 in Ohio Breeders' Championship. Pacey Minlin has been on fire so far today. Let's see who he likes amongst these trotters.
Race number 10. It's the Fear of the Dragon, $54,000 Ohio Breeders' Championship from Miami Valley Gaming, 3-year-old colts, and what a battle. It just gets better and better as the program moves along. Seattle Hanover, number 1 post position. I like this one against Native Sweet Lou. Native Sweet Lou went down to Lexington and blew him away in 49 and a piece. But kind of backed off after that win. Has had 2 fourth-place finishes. I'm going to take Seattle Hanover over number 2, Native's Dream. Round that out with number 4, Rose Run Ulysses on a nice little comeback trail. A good second place finish last start out for Kimberly Daly, pacing in 51-4. And number 7, Be Like Cruiser, Virgil Morgan's 3-year-old Yankee Cruiser. This is another good race. 1, 2, 4, 7 for NVG. Pace, baby, pace.
The Wiz in at 1-2-4-7. I think I said it was a trot. We're getting confused here at the end of the day, but no. Hey, quick shout out here from overseas. You know I like to call our broadcast an international sporting event. From Simon Dugan. Hey, Dave, just want to say we are loving the coverage and interviews you guys are doing. A great job as always. Watching while out for an evening jog here in Ireland with some nice green views, supporting Lions Johnny Jr. in the jug from the Dugan Racing Stable. Thank you very much. Yeah, Zachary Gray. Hey, Dave, watching the fair, and you guys do a great job entertaining. Thank you, Zachary. Debbie Weathersby as well. Good afternoon. I know you're busy. Yes, we are. Can you help me in the way of watching races from Georgia? No, I don't think I can, but I wasn't able to get back up to Ohio as I planned to be there. I will be in Indianapolis next month, though. Have a fantastic day. You too, Debbie. There's the bugle. On the track, race 10, Ohio Breeders' Championship Pacers.
Horses are on the track for the 10th race. Fear the Dragon, Ohio Breeders' Championship, 3-year-old Colton Gelding, pace for $54,600. Number 1, Seattle Hanover, Burke Racing Stable, Larry Carr, J&T Silva, Purnell Libby, Weaver Buscemi, Ron Burke trains, Chris Page, the 1, Seattle Hanover. Number 2 is Native Sweet Lou. Chuck Grubbs, the lessee of Georgetown, Kentucky. Dan Noble trains and drives the 2, Native Sweet Lou. Number 3, McMo, Emerald Highlands Farm, Mount Vernon, Ohio. Virgil Morgan Jr. trains. Yanni Chingra, the 3, McMo. Number 4, Rose Run Ulysses, Kimberly Daly of Mechanicsburg. Kim Daly trains. David Miller, the 4, Rose Run Ulysses. Number 5, Smack It With a Hammer, Country Club Acres, William Robinson and Joe Sabrocco. Brian Brown trains. Tim Tetrick, the 5, Smack It With a Hammer. Number 6 is Gold Digger King. Linda Van Camp, Circleville, Ohio. Scott Mogan trains. Brian Sears, the 6, Gold Digger King. Number 7, Be Like Cruiser. Michael Samaglio and William Richardson. Virgil Morgan Jr. trained. Brett Miller, the 7, Be Like Cruiser. And number 8, Authentic Hanover. Hutchison Harness. M. Thompson. Dustin Arledge trained. Tyler Smith, the 8, Authentic Hanover. Win, place, show, perfecta, trifecta, superfecta wagering on the 10th. Don't be shut out. Wager now.
Couple of minutes to post here for race number 10. Mic'd up with the headset on in the back paddock is Joe Bongiorno, coming to us all the way from New Jersey, so he probably took the same trip out that I did. Joe, hey, listen, thanks so much for taking a minute or two to join us on the Jug Day here. And all of us here on the set, you're with Dave Bianconi, Wendy Ross. Congratulations on what was a heck of a victory on Monday evening there at Harrington with American History. That was I think that was a signature performance for that horse.
Yeah, it definitely was. The horse has really been great every start I've driven him. His manners have been phenomenal the last 2 starts, and you know, he is the fastest horse I've ever driven probably, and he's just got raw speed, and you know, he's a great horse, and I think he's going to have a big rest of the year.
You get a drug drive today. I know it's not a good post there. Escape to the beach here for Mr. Alanya. To give us a little bit of background on this horse, he really stepped to the front there in his last start at Yonkers with you in the seat. That was almost a lifetime best.
Yeah, he's a very nice horse. He did it very easy at Yonkers. He's pretty flawless getting around the track, and that was at Yonkers. I think he'll get around this track unreal, and I think he's got more speed than what he showed at Yonkers even. And I know he was good in the stakes before that, and I think the horse is going to be good, but 8 holes is going to make it tough, but we're going to try to make something happen.
Joe, have you been excited to really have becoming quite a namestay, like on the Grand Circuit, especially in the last year or so? It's been almost 2 years now, and how's it been? And do you like it? And are you excited moving forward?
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's like a dream come true. I got lucky. I've driven a lot of horses for Ronnie, and Tony's used me some in stakes races, and they've both been great to me. And my sister's stable, Jem Bongiorno, her stable has been unbelievable this year, and I'm just looking forward to what's ahead.
Now let's talk about your fiance, Melissa. She is coming in. She was familiar with horses, but has really came into harness racing within the last 2 years, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And now you guys are getting married this fall or winter, but she just got her license. Is she going to want to do the amateur driving thing?
Absolutely, and you know, she's done a great job so far, and she handles a horse unreal. She's very comfortable sitting behind him, and you know, I think she's actually going to have her first amateur race on Thursday at Yonkers, so she's looking forward to that.
You are so supportive, and I love that she's got those maroon and gray and white colors as well. So she's got those Buongiorno colors, and she's got her own set made, and she looks really good out there.
Yeah, she's done a great job. I can't compliment her enough, and she's just really comfortable, and she loves the horses and she loves the business. So you know, I think she's really going to enjoy the amateurs and see what happens from there.
Joe, you know I adore you, but I also know that my favorite Buongiorno is here. She's here now. So have you seen Jen? Have you seen her around?
I just saw her about a half hour, 45 minutes ago. She got in, and you know, she's having a great year, and you know, she just loves promoting this business, and you know, she's all about it. So you know, she's here today, and you know, just promoting the business like usual.
All right, Joe, listen, we're going to wish you the best of luck along with your sister. We know you guys operate a big stable, so enjoy your last day here in Delaware, Ohio. It's a special place for all of us, including you. Take care, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, Joe Buongiorno here as we get ready for this Ohio Breeders' Championship race number 10. There's the Webkenberg starting gate. The wings are open. Our finalists getting ready to go here, so we send it up to Roger for race 10.
Horse approaching the starting gate. Pacers are on in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. And pacing Gold Digger King and Brian Sears for the lead, and he's got the lead on the outside, 3 wide. Seattle Hanover and Chris Page trying to hold position, ready to back off. Native Sweet Lou and Dan Noble to the backside they go. Gold Digger King on the outside goes right on to the top. Seattle Hanover will take the trip second. Here comes Noble with Native Sweet Lou on the move. Now third, now second, and after the leader. Opening quarter, 26-3. Moving on the outside, unexpectedly though, with the cover. Here comes David Miller. Rose Run Ulysses, 3 wide at the 3/8 pole. Into the stretch on top. Coming to the halfway point on the inside. Gold Digger King halfway home, 27-2, second panel on the outside second as they race into the turn, going to the 5/8 mark. That's Native Sweet Lou racing third. Seattle Hanover up on the outside once again. Rose Run Ulysses 3 wide with the cover. Smack it with a hammer down the backside. McMo nowhere to go. Outside, Be Like Cruiser. 3/4, 1:22-3. 28-3, backside. Little more than an 1/8 to go. On the outside with the lead, Native Sweet Lou and Dan Noble. Back on the inside, Gold Digger King and Brian Sears. Can anybody pick up the leaders? Gold Digger King and Brian Sears in front. 151 4/5.
All kinds of things happening in that race, Wendy. I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to explain this one. We had horses 2 and 3 wide. We had horses parked out. We had unbelievably fast fractions set by the long shot Gold Digger King, but somehow, some way, Brian Sears kept him alive.
Well, and I think that's the key to it, is Brian Sears right there did exactly what he does, and Gold Digger King is the best today, which he's 12-1 morning line, but Brian said must have known something and wanted to be aggressive early, and he was. But Danny Noble just kind of had a different agenda, and Gold Digger King just
Yeah, they're 3 wide into the first turn. Eventually, Brian Sears gets to the front. Dan Noble thinks he's going to make it to the lead because he's got the 1-2 favorite, but he is not able to clear. He ends up getting parked out again. And who goes 3 wide after them? It's Dave Miller. That was his choice over a couple of horses in here, but he's going to be able to stall a little bit of that momentum. This isn't the top of the stretch. That was into turn 2. Now we're on the backside the final time. Again, Gold Digger King digging in, just like his namesake says. Native Sweet Lou still trying his best on the outside. He gets about halfway by, but not all the way by. Rose Run Ulysses begins to fade on the far outside, and apparently nobody really else from the back of the pack has any pace. Top of the stretch, separation here for Gold Digger King, and Native Sweet Lou digging in as well. A tremendous performance from him, but he's not going to be able to get by. 6, 2, 5, 3 under the wire in 151 and 4 for the 3-year-old Pacing Golds and Geldings. A lot of money on the line, Dave. $54,000, and the winner earned it.
And you get Brian Sears at 19-1.
All right, already back and into the Sugar Valley Farms winner's circle is Brian Sears and Gold Digger King.
Into the Sugar Valley Farm winner's circle. The home of Well Said. Number 6, Gold Digger King. Linda Van Camp, Circleville, Ohio. Scott Mogan, the winning trainer. Brian Sears in the sulky. 3-year-old gelding by Pet Rock out of Hope for Pot of Gold. Taking a lifetime mark, 151 and 4. Final half, 57 and 4. Final quarter, 29 and 1. 6, 2, 5, 3. Gold Digger King and Brian Sears.
And the caretaker for this Ohio Breeders' Champion, 3-year-old Colt Pacer.
We've got prices in. Gold Digger King, 41.20, 12.40, 5.60. Native Sweet Lou, 2.40, 2.20. Smack It with a Hammer, 6.20. Your dollar perfecta, $63.70. 50-cent try, $240.40. The 50-cent superfecta, it's a slot machine, Dave, $777.40. So there's our biggest payoff of the day so far.
And it's going to spice up the pick 4, that's for sure.
I think so.
You feel good for Scott Mogan. The poor guy drew the 8-hole in the Sire Stakes final, drew the 6-hole today, and but got the White Knight in for that pinch hit in the bike, and that certainly made a difference.
It did. Fine time to get your second win of the year. Complete order of finish, up to Roger.
Results are official. Number 1, Seattle Hanover, 5. Number 2, Native Sweet Lou, 2. Number 3, McMo, 4. The 4, Rose Run Ulysses, 7. The 5, Smack It with a Hammer, 3. The 6, Gold Digger King, the winner. Number 7, Be Like Cruiser, 6. The 8, Authentic Hanover, 8. Top down, 5, 2, 4. 7, 3, 1, 6, 8 on the bottom of the mile. 151 and 4 to the winner's circle. Wendy Ross with Brian Sears.
Thank you very much, Roger. Brian, you pick up the catch drive here of Gold Digger King. Now, you knew you had a plan leaving the gate. You wanted to be aggressive, which you were, but it got a little hairy throughout the mile. Take us throughout it and how you felt looking at Noble there going at the half.
Yeah, it was a long race. My horse, I figured I'd go forward if I got him out there on the right foot, and he did. And, you know, he was under pressure the whole mile, and Danny's horse won a big trip. And, you know, things just worked out where we ended up holding on.
Any instructions from Scott going out, or did he say, Brian, just do what you do?
Yeah, he didn't want to take any of the credit or the blame on my drive, I don't think. You know, it looked like a spot. Anything could happen, so we just had to take a chance.
We were talking about you earlier on in the USTA Speaker Series today. We said, Brian, he's just so composed. He's so patient, has a way with getting a lot out of a horse. You showed that today. You didn't even flinch or move a muscle when everything was going on. You just kind of went, and the horse seemed to finish strong.
Yeah, the horse really looked like he is a nice horse on paper. He just has had some bad spots all year, and when I scored him down, I liked the way he felt, and felt good about the way he was acting behind the gate, and he took it from there.
Well, let's get to business in this 15th race today. The 4 Southwind Aussie comes in off 2 in a row in that PA Sire Stakes action. But last time we saw him on the half was at the Milstein in Northfield. Is this a concern at all? We know the horse is sharp. We know he has all the go in the world. But going from the last time you saw the half to being back here on the smaller track today, are you concerned?
I wouldn't say I'm concerned. You know, I look for the horse to get over the track a little bit better than he did at Northfield, but it was an impossible spot at Northfield. So, you know, we're going to throw that race out and take it from here. We got a good spot today, and I'm looking forward to it.
Looking for in search of your second Little Brown Jug. What do you think's the key to winning this big race? Sometimes it's just hard to clutch.
Yeah, it's a very tough race. It seems like, you know, it's kind of got to be your day, but you also have to have some power, and you got to have both things working for you.
Brian, congratulations. Best of luck in that 15.
Thank you.
Winning driver, Brian Sears.
Ladies and gentlemen, please visit Bow River Jewelry, the leading designer of fine horse racing jewelry. New this year, view 20 unique designs that you will cherish for years to come. Bow River Jewelry has 3 locations here at the fairgrounds, under the grandstand, in front of Barn 25, and in the VIP tent. Bow River Jewelry, original design with quality that you can trust. Things are getting a little wild and hairy out there on the racetrack, Dave. I don't know if that's a precursor to what we might see in today's 74th edition of the Little Brown Jug, but what's going on?
Yeah,
it's not because it's too hot. It's actually beautiful here today.
I mean, the boys are going at it hard, which you like to see, but I mean, you're inches apart going 30 miles an hour plus. That's rough.
Screaming and yelling sometimes half the time, but hey, it's entertaining for us. A little bit frustrating maybe for some of the connections back there in the paddock, but for us, we'd love to see it. Race 11 up next here. Remember, late scratch, take out the 5 Shamalama, and if you have a pick 4 ticket involved, you will get the post-time favorite, I do believe. Ohio Breeders' Championship, 3-year-old colt and gelding pacers here. The second division for a purse of $54,600.
And there's some killers in here.
Yeah.
Killers. Black Hole, I'll be honest with you, I'd never seen him race in person until Super Night at Northfield. And I've heard, well, this horse is so fast, but he's had problems, blah, blah, blah. He was monstrous first over, winning it in 49 on the off track. It rained the whole night. This horse, 9 for 10 lifetime, extraordinarily lightly raced. Not exactly regally bred. He's a Mr. Apples. But how do you like them apples is what he's telling them right now.
Now, let me play devil's advocate with you because I put him on top 2, so that's irrelevant here. Last 4 races, all inside post. Distinct off-the-pace racing style, now post 5.
It's going to be tougher. And let me tell you, Rock Candy was the horse, you know, halfway through the year before he, you know, bled a little bit. Now he's on Lasix. He was 6 for 6 to start the year, was Rock Candy. And then Yankee Boots kind of took over as the horse. He finished 4th in the Milstein. The horse that was 5th was named South Winazi. So that was a pretty decent effort by Yankee Boots. And that's what I'm saying. A couple of these horses could be in the jug divisions, would not embarrass themselves at all.
Yankee Boots, one of the co-owners there again, Chuck Grubbs. So he's having a good day so far here at the Delaware County Fair. And we've got a trailer in here, too. It's never an easy thing to leave out Super Brett Miller, and Virgil Morgan Jr. with the 9 black style.
And I'll tell you, Ohio Vintage is sitting on a big trip, too. He went a big trip, had no room in the consolation, finished 3rd, but really lacked room. I think Ohio Vintage has a shot with Aaron. I do.
All right, homebred for the ribbon ships. So we need to know, we need more information. That's the bottom line here. Lots of good horses in here. So which of the ones did Mr. Minlin, the Wiz, Pacey Minlin, who did he settle on?
Race number 11. It's the 3-year-old Breeders' Championship for 3-year-old pacing colts from Miami Valley Gaming. And what a race this is going to be. I'll tell you what, the races just get better and better today. And the Wizard's getting more pumped and pumped. I'll tell you, Black Hole, what a surprise. This might be the surprise of the year. Could be the horse of the year in Ohio. Black Hole. Clarence Falk trains this one. Mr. Apples, 3-year-old. Perfect 6 for 6. He came from nowhere. He came from the apple field. Tyler Smith gets the call on this one. The winner of the $300,000 final on a bad track at Northfield on 9-1, 49-4. What will he rumble today if the breeze only dies down? Number 6, I like the 8, Yankee Boots. This is another one, been paced last start in 50 in the final. Got beat by Black Hole. Yankee Boots has post number 8. Number 1, Rock Candy was the best last year. Kind of fell apart during the mid part of the year. But Rock Candy is on a comeback. Never count Brian Brown out. The sly one who trains here at Delaware could surprise us all and blow up the tote board. And number 5, Shamalama. Peter N brings this McCardle out. What a race this is going to be. 6-8, 1-5, pace, baby, pace.
6-8-1-5, the numbers from the Wiz. A lot of different numbers underneath the 6, but seems like so far pretty unanimous. All us handicappers, Dave, we just couldn't go against Black Hole. I tend to believe that you concur.
I do, but I don't think he has to win. I mean, as you talked about, he's had some good post positions. I mean, the horse has only raced 10 times in his life. We saw a 2-year-old yesterday making her 19th start of the year.
We did.
So it's but you know, for 10 starts, 9 wins in a place is hard to go against.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Trying to rustle up a couple of shout-outs here from Facebook if my computer would cooperate. Sometimes these things, you know, it's been on for a couple of straight days now, but Ohio Breeders' Championships, they have provided us with some fireworks today.
I've got a question.
Go.
Here.
I'm ready.
Question from the backside. I better read this first before I go on the air.
I was going to say,
clean.
Yeah.
Usually when you hear from the backside, you have to edit it. But question from the backside. I'm passing along. If David Miller doesn't win a race today, how long has it been since he didn't win one Jug Week?
That sounds like a Hollywood Hayden question. And he was with us. He's here on the fairgrounds. We saw him. So I know he can't hear us, but if he was standing here, he'd probably have the answer in about 0.37
Roger might
seconds.
know.
Yeah,
Roger might know too.
The correct answer is one hell of a long time, because I've been here 20-some years, and I think he's won multiple
gang,
every year.
I'll make you a bet.
Okay.
If you asked it cold to Hollywood Hayden, he would not be able to give you the answer, because I bet you David Miller couldn't even give you the answer.
I'm sure David Miller couldn't give me the answer.
No. It's unreal.
Yeah. Well, we still got time.
Have you seen the post positions? Some of those post positions he's had to deal with.
He's had a rough day. Yeah, he's had a rough day. And he hasn't exactly had a whole lot of power either, Roger.
No.
You know, it's tough to win when you don't have some power. Sometimes you can make some magic, but it's better to have the power than need the magic.
Yep.
Shout out for Irish Joe Haney and Jeremy Simon and Dwayne and Jack Baggett Jr. back in New Jersey.
Wait, I got a shout out.
Go, I'm ready. Been waiting all day.
Wait a minute, and I got it. Got to get it there on my phone. Came from Helen Carlo down at Miami Valley, and she wanted me to say, yesterday was Rosemary Wainscott's 86th birthday. She has been the assistant race secretary for 30 years between Lebanon Raceway and Miami Valley Gaming. So a happy birthday shout out to Rosemary Wainscott.
I like it.
Happy 86th.
Wow. 86th birthday.
See, I'm even getting these messages from you.
It's about time. I've been waiting all week for you to give one.
And I don't make my stuff public.
Okay, I understand. We try our best down here on the set to keep everybody entertained. So again, that hello to Irish Joe, Jeremy Simon, Dwayne, and again Jack Baggett Jr., who just made a comeback. He's driver back in New Jersey. Last week at Freehold, he won his first race in 3 years. So maybe he and Wiggle It Jiggle It can do something together. Steve Fidlin, good bang-up job. Keep up the good work. Track looks fast. I don't know if it's as fast as it was yesterday, but we've had some hot and heated battles out there, Mr. Bianconi. No doubt, for sure. We're going to get a good one here with one inside favorite, one outside favorite that tends to come from off the pace. So
the track might be as fast today, but it's playing more fair, I think.
Yes.
So I'll take that any day.
I'll buy into that. With more yet to come, the second half of the card will definitely answer some questions.
Right.
I see horses. I hear the bugle. That means we're ready for the post parade here. Race number 11, the Ohio Breeders' Championship.
Horses are on the track. Breeding the post, the 11th race. Fear the Dragon, Ohio Breeders' Championship. 3-year-old Colton Gelding pace, $54,600. Number 1, Rock Candy. Country Club Bakers, Joe Sabranco, Richard Lombardo. Brian Brown trains, Ronnie Wren Jr., the 1, Rock Candy. Number 2 is High on Paydays. S.W. Hagemeyer, R.A. Mandello, D. Robinson, Brian Brown trains. David Miller, the 2, High on Paydays. Number 3, Bombay Hanover. VHF Racing, Rochester Hills, Michigan. Sean Smith Peters trains. Chris Page, the 3, Bombay Hanover. Number 4, Ohio Vintage. Ribbon Ships of Boca Raton, Florida. Brian Loney trains. Aaron Merriman, the 4, Ohio Vintage. The 5 is scratched. The 6 is Black Hole. L&L Stable, Springfield, Ohio. Clarence Folk trains. Tyler Smith, the 6, Black Hole. Number 7, Rocket Baby. Here's to Us Stable of Millersport, Ohio. Ron Steck trains. Yannick Gingras drives the 7, Rocket Baby. Number 8 is Yankee Boots. Carter, Grubbs, Carter, and Whitaker, the owners. Steve Carter trains. Dan Noble, the 8, Yankee Boots. And number 9, Black Smile. Emerald Highlands Farm of Mount Vernon, Ohio. Virgil Morgan Jr. trains. Brett Miller drives the 9, Black Smile. With the scratch of the 5, 6, 7, and 8 slide in a spot going to the gate. The 9 remains a trailer in the second tier. Don't be shot out. Wager now.
Good battle coming up here in the Ohio Breeders' Championship. But one guy in the back paddock right now with the headset on remembers an epic battle 1 year ago today. Mr. Blake McIntosh joins us, winning trainer of the Little Brown Jug last year with Courtly Choice in one of the best races I've ever seen here. Blake, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Montrell. When you drove through that stable gate whenever you got here this week, did the memories come flooding back?
Yeah, but mostly when first day I came on the track and went by the winner's circle, I was like, wow, you know, like I can't believe we won this last year. It's just still amazing.
Now you bring one in today, Fast and First. I'm going to ask you about him in just a second, or I'll have Mr. Bianconi ask. Courtly Choice, you originally retired him to go to stud. You guys changed your mind and brought him back to race. He's had a couple of epic victories. He's had a couple of disappointing efforts here. Tell us about, I guess that was the Canadian Pacing Derby when he won it, what, 30-1?
Yeah, that was just a great night. You know, like to win that on our home track was just amazing. You know, he's finally come back to himself. The last couple of races, he's drawn bad, and he's been closing at the wire again. So just happy to see him back to himself.
Now he got a bad post blues assignment in that Quillen Monday evening down there at Harrington. How did his trip go? Because I remember watching the race, but I don't remember what he did.
Well, he was like parked behind Tony's horse.
American History.
And then around the last turn, he got a little rough there when Tyler came underneath him. So James had to grab a hold of him. Then he came flying down the lane again, got fourth, and he was huge again. So we're just hoping that next week in Dayton we can draw well, and you know, the bigger tracks will pick him up, and then Lexington after that.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, give us a little idea about the rest of his campaign throughout the season.
So he's got Dayton next week, then Lexington, and then to the Breeders' Crown.
And then Blake, is there any chance he's coming back at 5?
We'll talk about it. You know, if he finishes the year off strong, it'll be pretty tough to turn down the stud deal. But you know, they were nice enough to let me do it this year, and you know, I won one of my dream races, so you know, it's up to the partnership group. You know, I only own 12.5% now, so
right.
You know,
well, if he does, you're invited to the Battle of Lake Erie 2020 as of right now. So just officially remember that.
Yeah. I was invited, then you took the invite away from me. So you know,
not true. That is not true at all. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
All right, you brought one horse, I guess, to the fairgrounds this year. That is Fast and First. He has post 5 in the second Little Brown Jug elimination. Looks like he's come into his own over his past couple starts. So give us some background and tell us give us your confidence level for today.
I think he's going to get around this track great. He's a nice little horse. You know, like he's been racing lower tier. We've protected him all summer. He's actually had a great summer. I think he's got 7 wins or 8 wins, something like that. And, you know, he knows how to win, and he'll love the half mile. So I'm very confident.
Tell us about your choice in drivers. You probably could have had anybody at this point. You chose Brett Miller back here in Ohio for the first time this year.
Well, he's a bit of a lazy horse, and I don't know if you know Brett, but he can get a lazy one to go, and so I thought, you know what, let's put the guy up that's going to liven him up and see what happens.
All right, excellent choice. Listen, they're getting ready to go to gate here. We've been awaiting one of these Ohio Breeders' Championship paces. Lots of action here on the racetrack today. Good luck with Fast and First later, and I just hope you're enjoying yourself over the last few days here. I know it's a special place.
For sure. It's been a lot less stressful this year. So.
I'll bet it has. Blake McIntosh, the defending champion winning trainer here at the Little Brown Jug. Courtly Choice with his epic victory over this strip last year. Wings of the Web Converter starting gate are opening up. Here comes race number 11. Do you like the 6? Black Hole. He's 3-5 now on the board with Tyler Smith.
Horses are all in behind the gate. The gate swings around the turn, and here they come. And pacing Rock Candy, fast out of the gate from the inside. On the outside, Black Hole. As they race into the turn, going to the first 8. Getting away third, it's High on Paydays. As they race to the backside, go on to the first quarter mark. Moving up on the outside, following the cover is Yankee Boots and Dan Noble. Also on the outside, Ohio Vintage and Aaron Merriman. There's more on the outside than at the pylons. Opening quarter, 27-4. Into the turn, go on to the 3/8 mark. On the inside with the lead, it's Rock Candy holding position. On the outside, Black Hole is hung to the 3/8. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Racing down along the pylons, High on Paydays on the outside. Racing fourth, Ohio Vintage. Fifth is Yankee Boots. Halfway home, 55, 27-1. Second panel, Torrid Pace going to the 5/8 mark. Rock Candy being pressured throughout. Ronnie Wren Jr. has the lead by a length and a quarter. Black Hole's been on the outside every step. David Miller, High on Paydays, should have plenty of horse third. Ohio Vintage starts to fade between horses. 3 wide on the outside. Here comes Yankee Boots. 3/4, 1:22-3, 27-3 backside. It's still Rock Candy. Outside Black Hole. 3 wide on the outside. Yankee Boots coming on. Who's it gonna be in Ohio? Rock Candy on the outside. Black Hole. Black Hole and Rock Candy battle the wire. Couldn't see the inside horse from here, but maybe Rock Candy. 151, 4/5.
And it was Rock Candy by the slimmest of margins. A lot of hard ball being played. There is some crazy action in these races.
What is going on, Dave Bianconi? 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide.
That's how we race on a half-mile track in Ohio, my man. You're in Ohio now.
Yeah,
you're no single file BS.
You're not kidding. Here we go into the first turn. That's Rock Candy on the lead. And Black Hole, a little bit more early speed than I expected from him in this particular situation. Dan Noble's going to try 3 wide the first time with Yankee Boots, and then he's going to pull up and retreat, so to speak. But he's got another move yet to come. In the meantime, Ronnie Wren Jr. goes on with it with Rock Candy. Tyler Smith says, I can squeeze into the 2-hole for just a moment. He said, no, I better not stay here. What happened after this?
You know, Ronnie kind of gave him the okey doke there. Looked like he was going to let Black Hole clear, but then when he saw Yankee Boots coming too, he said, you know what? I'm just going to go pedal to the floor, and he really left those guys out in the rim, and it was a winning move.
Here's the stretch drive, and it's Rock Candy somehow digging in to hold off Black Hole, and his third move. Yankee Boots somehow, who was 3 wide twice
he went
in
like
a
2
mile.
miles. Yeah, he went about 2 miles.
Ends up third. So it looks like 1-6-8-3. That numbers are on the board here. Look at the mad scramble finish from our viewpoint in the infield. Wow.
And it's good to see Rock Candy bounce back. I know Brian Brown was just heartbroken the way this one kind of went bad just before the big races in the Sire Stakes final, and he gets some redemption here in the Breeders' Championship.
Incredible effort there. 151-4 and a very hard-earned 151-4 for Ronnie Wren Jr. and Rock Candy, who snaps that 4-race win streak to land back in the winner's circle on one of Ohio's most important racing days. So Ronnie Wren probably had to take a little bit of a deep breath as he pulled up Rock Candy, and he'll make his way back to the Sugar Valley Farms winner's circle. I want to give credit all the way around here. Black Hole with a tremendous multiple move effort. He showed a lot of heart to dig in and hold on, and I don't even know how to explain the race from Yankee Boots.
Wow.
Nobody ever goes 3 wide twice and lives to tell about it. He did. So here we are, Ronnie Wren Jr. back with the winning connections crossing the track here into the winner's circle. Rock Candy, an Ohio Breeders' champion.
154, 7 scratch 2, 836. Into the Sugar Valley Farms winner's circle. Number 1, Rock Candy. Country Club Bakers, Joe Sabraco, Richard Lombardo, Brian Brown, the winning trainer. Ronnie Wren Jr. getting his 6th win this week at Delaware, Ohio. 3-year-old Yelling Pet Rock at a Cotton Candy. 151-4. Was pressured every step of the mile and still gets the win for Ron Wren Jr. And Brian Brown is going to the winner's circle.
And the caretaker for this Ohio Breeders' champion, Rock Candy, Tony Dale. This race trophy by Fear the Dragon, and in the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation on behalf of Fear the Dragon, Bruce Trogdon.
There's the winner's circle and part of the Brown contingent there. That was Jennifer Brown, Brian's wife, rushing up for the big kiss there with Ronnie Wren Jr. Prices are in, Dave. That means it's time for you.
Rock Candy, 940, 340, and 260. Black Hole, 220 and 210. And Yankee Boots, 320 to show. The Dollar Perfecta, 1.6, paid 10.10. 50-cent Try, 1.68, $15.85. 50-cent Super, 1.683, paid 116.90.
There are the prices, and we had a lot going on out there. Mr. Roger Houston will give us the official order of finish.
Number 1, Rock Candy, the winner. Number 2, High on Paydays, 5. The 3, Bombay Hanover, 4. The 4, Ohio Vintage, 7. The 5 was scratched. The 6, Black Hole, 2. The 7, Rockhead Baby, 8. The 8, Yankee Boots, 3. And number 9, Black Smile, 6. Top down, 154. 7 scratch 2, 8-3, 6 on the bottom of the mile, 151-4. And the youngster, a Little Wren, celebrated his first birthday here at Delaware, Ohio this week.
Ladies and gentlemen, please visit Bow River Jewelry, the leading designer of fine horse racing jewelry. New this year, view 20 unique designs that you will cherish for years to come. Bow River Jewelry has 3 locations here at the fairgrounds, under the grandstand, in front of Barn 25, and in the VIP tent. Bow River Jewelry, original design with quality that you can trust. Thanks to Bow River and the folks throughout the fairgrounds here displaying some of that fine jewelry here. There's the logo for the 74th edition of the Great American Harness Race. Race 12 coming up next. We know this is one of the featured events of the day. The biggest question everybody keeps asking me today on the fairgrounds is, did the Wiz pick the Wiggle? Let's find out.
Race number 12 for Miami Valley Gaming. Oh, this is one of the most anticipated races. The return of the champion. Play the drums. Play it all. It's Wiggle It, Jiggle It is back after a couple years absent. What a horse that he's been. A winner with almost $4 million. $4 million. On the racetrack here, Wiggle It, Jiggle It returns from his historic Little Brown Jug win. Been off several years. The comeback race. Race number 12. It's not going to be easy for the boy. He's off a couple qualifiers. Let's see. Montel Teague will be in the bike for Clyde Francis trained, now 7-year-old gelding. Number 2, Lion Snyder off a win in 51-4. They're going to make it tough on his return. Nitro, one of the best Indiana pacers the last several years. And number 4, Born to be Bad. Let's all root for Wiggle It and Jiggle It. Pace, baby, pace for Miami Valley Gaming.
You knew the Wiz was going to pick the Wiggle, right?
Yes.
I didn't think there was any possible chance that he wouldn't. Showing 11 minutes to post here on the board. Dave Bianconi, Wendy Ross back in the set here. Now, do you remember exactly where you were standing on that day in 2015 when Wiggle It Jiggle It went one of the biggest, best, toughest little brown jugs of all
I was
time?
sitting in the chair you're sitting in now.
On the right side.
Yep.
Huh?
And Sam and I always used to stand up during the race.
Yep.
Okay.
So he would always stand up, and we were supposed standing up, and
It's going nuts, I must add.
I'll never forget it.
Describe the sound of the crowd when they hit the wire.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was a really good call by Roger too. He was just had everybody into it, and it was something like no other. It was definitely something to see, and it's just cool to see him back here today.
Did you think he won the photo?
Goosebumps, even after 25 years in the business.
All right, well, you know what? We're going to take a moment and get a little flashback here. Back to 2015. Here's Wiggle It Jiggle It in one of the greatest little brown jugs ever.
And pacing fast out of the gate on the outside, My Hero Ron. In between horses, Lost for Words. Racing third, Wiggle It Jiggle It. Taking a seat fourth, Art Speak. And the battle's on early on. Early on, though, the leader going to the backside, Lost for Words. Tucking in second as they race over to the first quarter mark. My Hero Ron, Wiggle It Jiggle It third, Art Speak fourth. Rockin' in Heaven outside fifth. Opening quarter, 27 seconds. And here comes Wiggle It Jiggle It. Now third, now second. After the leader, Lost for Words. At the 3/8 mark. Into the lane first time. Lost for Words with the lead. Wiggle It Jiggle It up on the outside second. Nose to nose, stride for stride, toe to toe. Coming to the half. 54-1. 27-1, second panel. Racing third, My Hero Ron. Up on the outside, Art Speak, now fourth. Racing fifth, Yankee Bounty, sixth on the inside. Going to the backside, RK Hanover, racing seventh. Rockin' in Heaven. The battle continues. It turned it into a war. Lost for Words, Wiggle It Jiggle It at the 3/4. 21-1. 27 seconds, and they're still going at it. Lost for Words, Wiggle It Jiggle It. The battle of the fittest around the turn. Lost for Words has the lead and starts to open up. Wiggle It Jiggle It on the outside second. Can anybody catch him from the back? Coming home, Lost for Words, Wiggle It Jiggle It. Coming home, Lost for Words, Wiggle It Jiggle It. A final surge. 149, 3/5.
I do not believe what I just saw. Wiggle It Jiggle It was beaten. He kept on coming and nails Lost for Words in an epic little brown jug. Can you believe this?
What a horse race.
What a race.
Oh my goodness.
That could be the best race, Sam.
This
that was
could
amazing.
this could be the best race ever in harness racing history right here.
The words of Sam Key. What a race. Look at the look on Montrell Teague's face. Did you think he won the photo when they hit the wire?
I did.
I did too. And there he is today, earlier on, warming up. Wiggle It Jiggle It 3 years ago.
I don't know about anybody else. When I was watching the race,
4 years ago.
When I was watching the race just now, I was like, I didn't even know the outcome. I was so into it. I'm like, just like,
you're thinking, well, you can't win from there, right? You know he's going to win.
Like, you already know the outcome, but it was such a good race. You're just still just like staring at it, like, oh my goodness, couldn't remember how good of a race it was.
Wonder if the horse remembers that. You know, sometimes I think they know because they're pretty smart. He hasn't been here since that day. So,
Horses for courses, yeah. Rock Candy won here last year, I should mention, by the way, too. So,
okay.
you know.
Yeah. Roger, I know you've got something to say about that. What a wonderful call that was on your part.
The battle that turned into a war. I and everybody else that was here thought he was beat, top of the stretch. When that horse dug in and came back, and I was sure as could be that he was the winner at the wire, because I took normally I don't take 3 or 4 steps forward, but I took 3 or 4 steps forward to be sure I could get a good view, and he was the winner. And like you just heard on that tape, Sam's words said it all. I don't believe what I just saw. You know,
None of us
nobody
did. Yeah, none of us did.
To this day, still believe it was the greatest horse race ever, whether it be a half mile, 5/8, or a mile track. There's no. I know a lot of people talk about Life Sign. They talk about the race. Who was it? Artificial to beat somewhere or something like that at the Meadowlands, and there's a lot of races at Lexington and things like that. But that race with the. It's just unbelievable, and I still get goosebumps every time I see it. And I listed it as one of the top 4 races I've had an opportunity to call, and it was just great.
Great almost isn't even as good enough.
I know,
word,
yeah, really. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's about the only thing I could say different.
I know where we all were. I had the pleasure of sending that out on national television with Gary Seibel on CBS Sports Network. They hit the wire, and Gary looked at me, and I looked over, and our mics were actually hot. Although we weren't expecting that. I said, I think he got there. I think he got there. And Gary was a little hesitant. He goes, I'm not so sure. I don't know. So we had to wait for the photo like everybody else. But it was a special day in the life of all of us. A special day about to be made here for the fans here at the Delaware County Fairgrounds for the first time in 4 years now. Stepping back out onto the track will be the rest of the field here. But all eyes on number 3, Wiggle It, Jiggle It.
Horses and geldings, non-winners, $30,000 in 2019. Number 1, best in the business. Brett Boyd Racing, Jonesville, Michigan. Brett Boyd trains. Braxton Boyd drives the 1, best in the business. The 2 is scratched. The 3, Wiggle It, Jiggle It, returning to Delaware, Ohio. George Teague Jr., Teague Racing. Clyde Francis trains. Montrell Teague drives the 3, Wiggle It, Jiggle It. Number 4, Born to Be Bad. George Green of Clarksburg, New Jersey. Nick Zurich trains. Chris Page, the 4, Born to Be Bad. Number 5 is Night Pro. Dale Decker of Temperance, Michigan. Dale Decker trains and drives the 5, Night Pro. Number 6 is Celestial Ardennian. Ned Hodgkinson of Blacklick, Ohio, owns and trains. Make the driver Brian Sears on the 6, Celestial Ardennian. And number 7, Kiss of Terror. Kurt Nichols, Seth Downing, Dan Ader trains. David Miller drives the 7, Kiss of Terror. With a scratch to the 2, 3 through 7 slide in a spot, go onto the gate. Win, Place, Show, Perfecta, Trifecta, Superfecta, Pick 3 wagering. Don't be shot out. Wager now.
Thank you very much, Roger. The Pacers are on the track here for this condition event. We've got a guy that's looking to make his own memories here on a special Little Brown Jug Day. It's a guy that I don't know if he's ever had one in the jug before, so let's get that question answered. It is trainer Bill McKenzie, mic'd up with the headset on in the back. He has what is considered to be the horse to beat heading into the eliminations today. That is Southwind Ozzie. Bill, welcome to the Delaware County Fairgrounds. Is this your first trip here or just your first jug?
Yeah, no, it's my first trip here all around.
Give us an idea of what the experience has been for you so far, and is there a little added extra pressure because you've got the horse to beat?
No, there's always a little pressure, you know, with the owners. You know, when you come sometimes with horses that you're just looking to get a little money, you know, better things can happen for you. When you come in here to expect to win the race, yeah, there's definitely more pressure, you know.
Now, you've done a wonderful job of, I want to say, managing this horse this year. You've stayed out of some of the big races here. You've kind of had your eyes on this for a long time here. Southwind Ozzie, his best race so far this year, would you make it, you know, that Pennsylvania Sire Stakes Championship, or would you make it the Adios?
You know, he's raced good a lot of times, you know what I mean? We had some issues with him earlier. We missed the Hemp because of it. We got him back qualified, and right away he drew the 9-hole. That was a little scary. But, you know, great drive by Brian, got him into the final, picking our post position, not realizing that we had to not have to draw, you know, because it hasn't been the greatest for us.
Hey, Bill, it's Dave Bianconi. How you doing? I know the horse had some minor surgery middle of the year that he has bounced back from marvelously, though, it looks like.
Yeah, you know, it was a routine surgery. It wasn't real bad. We got lucky with it. It could have been a lot worse. You know, it was diagnosed real early, got right off to the clinic, had it repaired. You know, we took our time getting him back. And, you know, from there, he just did what he had to do.
And unfortunately, when you came to my place to Northfield for the Milstein, you drew outside and then were involved in, I would have to say, the most bizarre race I've ever seen at Northfield, where the best horses in the world went 28-2 and 57. And when you're sitting sixth at that point and they come a back half in 53, you have zero chance.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we went out there. You know, Brian and I talked about it. You know, it was his first start on a half. You know, it was also to see how good he would be on a half. So our game plan was, you know, we were at the mercy of the pace. And unfortunately, it did not go our way. And, you know, we lived to fight another day.
What have you done with him here since you arrived this week? Have you taken him around, you know, with a pretty quick mile, or have you been easy on him?
No, we've you know, he got here on Monday, but he trained light on Monday morning out down by us in Jersey. He's a great shipper. He got in, ate everything, and just did some light work here. You know.
Bill, I talked with Brian in the winner's circle just a few races ago, and he seemed pretty confident in the colt. And he said, you know, he like you did, he just kind of threw out that Milstein performance like he was in a, you know, a no-win spot, and it just, you know, turned out like it did. But he said he seems razor sharp, and that he can do it, you know, both ways and whatever you ask him, and he thinks that's going to give him a big shot today.
You know, with these young horses, you really don't know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? Until they have to do something. And you know, Ozzy's done everything. You know, he's been 3 deep, he's followed, he's been first over, he's cut miles. You know, he's done everything. And like I said, you know, with not having these horses not having the starts, you really don't know what their capabilities are until they do it.
We've got just a second, Bill. What would a Little Brown Jug mean to you?
You know, it means a lot to me. It means, you know, it's what everybody in this place and in this industry is, you know, driving forward to get done, you know.
All right.
It's great.
Thank you, Bill. We appreciate that. Best of luck. Hope you don't need it. Let's see how Wiggle It Jiggle It does in his return to the races.
The gate swings around the turn, and here they come. Pacing Night Pro on the outside. Wiggle It, Jiggle It gets away second. Into the turn. Best in the Business third. Taking a seat. Born to Be Bad fourth. Racing fifth. Celestial Arden in. Trailing the field. Kiss of Terror as they race to the backside and the first quarter mark. Montreal Tig wants Wiggle It, Jiggle It on the front and goes right on after the leader. That's Night Pro giving way second. Opening quarter 27-4. Into the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. Best in the Business racing third. Round the turn, racing fourth. That's Born to Be Bad racing fifth. Celestial Arden in and treading the field. Kiss of Terror, all in straight alignment as they race into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Wiggle It, Jiggle It with the lead. Here comes Celestial Arden in and Brian Sears on the move on the outside. Halfway home in 56-4. Second panel in 29. Wiggle It, Jiggle It with the lead. Celestial Arden in on the outside, second challenging. Night Pro racing third. Kiss of Terror goes to the outside fourth. Inside, Best in the Business fifth. Down the backside they go. Born to Be Bad trails. Wiggle It, Jiggle It by 3/4 of a length. Celestial Arden in on the outside. 3/4 in 1:24-2. 27-3 backside, and we got a leader on the outside. It's Celestial Arden in to take the lead. Wiggle It, Jiggle It is there second. 3 wide off the turn. Born to Be Bad. Celestial Arden in and Brian Sears with the lead. Wiggle It, Jiggle It is second. Coming to the wire. Celestial Arden in. Wiggle It, Jiggle It second. Home third. Born to Be Bad. I believe somebody tripped the timer because I don't think they went in 1:45 and 1.
No, we don't either.
It took a 1:45 and 1 mile to beat him.
Wiggle It, Jiggle It.
Yeah.
Ends up second here. Nice trip. Now we know why Ned Hodkinson made that late driver change that we referred to earlier.
Right.
He knew Celestial Ardennes was sitting on a pretty big effort today. But that was a big trip. I mean, when you roll by a champion and you do it like that, you most certainly have earned the victory. We pick it up at the start. Night Pro, we thought we'd see speed from him and Dale Decker. That we did. Pretty nice, easy, smooth lead for Wiggle It, Jiggle It and Montrell Teague. And I was wondering at this point whether or not Montrell would try to go back to the front. Every time we've seen anybody make this move this week, they've been rebuffed. You saw Dale Decker look over his right shoulder. He sees Wiggle It, Jiggle It coming, and he decides to yield. So the quarter was 27-4. Nice, easy, controlled half in 56-4 as Montrell was able to get the Wiggle It to the lead. Looks pretty comfortable on lead at this point, Dave, but here comes Brian Sears very quickly.
Yeah, this horse was obviously loaded today, came right up, and by the 3/4 was right to Wiggle It's eye, basically, and was just too much in the lane. To me, that is not a bad effort by Wiggle It, Jiggle It off a 3-year layoff. So, you know, I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of. Who knows if he'll ever be back to top open level. But this wasn't a horrible start.
No, it wasn't. And you see Montrell Teague asking for best. I asked you while the race was going, wonder if he'll battle back again, because we kind of almost expect that from him at this point. Brian Sears firmly in command here. I think we heard Roger give the time. Did he say one? I didn't hear it. We'll wait for him to give it again. But it's 6, 3, 4, 5 under the wire. 3-1, your winning price on Celestial Ardennes.
Believe it.
Here's Brian Sears back to the winner's circle.
Ohio. Ned Hodkinson trains. Brian Sears gets the catch drive and scores with a 7-year-old gelding by Rock and Roll Heaven out of Ardennes Darlin, taking a lifetime mark 151 2/5. $54-3. Final half. Final quarter, 27 seconds. Celestial Ardennes, the winner. But ladies and gentlemen, you saw the return to the races of Wiggle It, Jiggle It in, and no disgrace with a mile like that here at Delaware, Ohio, in the first start in 3 years. We want to thank the Teague Racing Stable, Clyde Francis, Montrell Teague, for bringing Wiggle It, Jiggle It back to Delaware, Ohio, finishing second to Celestial Ardennes in 151 2/5.
In the caretaker for the 6, Celestial Ardennes, Monica. This race trophy by Kroger. And in the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation on behalf of Kroger, Mr. Ed Powers.
Looked like they were looking possibly at Night Pro, who took a bad step, finished 4th. So as you saw, Dave?
Yeah, well, yeah, it got a little tight there, and then thankfully we didn't have another wheel locking incident.
Yeah.
So for what, about the 4th or 5th time, we're going to employ the services of the judges here. John Yinger, the presiding judge, John Weist, and Tom Hope.
Earning their paychecks.
Yeah, they are today for sure. The official time there, 151-2. So that was a big sprint home there for Celestial Ardennes. 151-2 will demolish his lifetime mark, and that's his second win, I think, here in North America for Ned Hodkinson, who owns and trains.
It took a 27-1 final quarter to beat Wiggle It. I mean, that was a serious mile that they went in there.
Ned has been talking about this 7-year-old. He said thinks he's something special, and I think he showed it today.
He sure did. Now we're looking at the back of the pack here. Things are going to get a little tight. Currently third is the 5 Night Pro. That's Dale Decker. It looks like he's just going to drift out a little bit if he takes a bad step, and we'll see where the impeding comes into effect there. The one best in the business is right behind him. Yeah, he grabbed up the line pretty sharp to avoid locking wheels with Dave Miller on the outside. Impeded.
Oh, but they are. I did lock wheels for just a second.
Impeded for sure was the one best in the business, Braxton Boyd. He had to completely grab up on his 11-year-old.
This is like freaking Ben-Hur out here today.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's been rough and it's been hard to describe and complain.
And they did 6-3-4-1 now. We got a new call.
Okay, 6-3-4-1. So we did have a placing. Well, we send it up to Roger to give us the details.
6-3-4-1. The one-horse best in the business finished 5, has been placed 4th on the disqualification of number 5, Night Pro. So the new numbers, 6-3-4-1, as yet unofficial. $51 and 2.
All right, the prices are in, so let's get everybody paid here for the Wiggle It Jiggle It return. Number 6, Celestial Arden, 820, 340, and 260. Wiggle It Jiggle It, 260 and 210. The 4, Born to Be Bad, 340. Your $1 Perfecta, 6-3, $7.80. Your 50-cent Superfecta, those winning numbers 6-3-4-1 after the placings, $80 even. As we head back to the top, 50-cent try, 15.25, and the pick 4, 369.65. Wendy, Wiggle It Jiggle It. I think Dave Bianconi hit it on the head. But first, let's get the order of finish and the placings from Roger Houston.
Results are official. 12th race. Number 1, best in the business, 5, placed 4. Number 2 is scratched. The 3, Wiggle It Jiggle It, 2. Number 4, Born to Be Bad, 3. Number 5, Night Pro, 4, place 6. Interference at the top of the stretch. The 6, Celestial Arden in, the winner. The 7, Kiss of Terror, finished 6th, placed 5. Top down, placed 4. Scratch, 2, 3, place 6, 1. Placed 5 on the bottom. The mile, 151, 2/5. Upcoming 13th race. Win, place, show, Perfecta, Trifecta, Superfecta wagering. No changes in race 13. Don't be shut out. Wager now.
Wendy, I think Mr. Bianconi hit it right on the head here. Good start back for Wiggle It Jiggle It.
Yeah, I don't think you can take anything away from it at all. And he's just one of those horses, though. He's earned his right to do kind of whatever he wants, in my opinion. I think he was super today, and that Celestial Arden is a nice horse, and can't take anything away from Wiggle today.
All right, we've got a hello from Australia, Phil Craig, who checks in every year from Perth, Australia. Another very early morning, but always really enjoying the coverage. Thanks, Phil. We need a little time out here. Wiggle It Jiggle It is done, so the next big thing comes up in a few races. The 74th Little Brown Jug. Eliminations coming up, races 15, 16. We will be right back.
Giving thanks for Christ's hand in the beauty and talent of these animals. You'll see us doing just that at training centers, at racetracks, and farms across the continent.
He was born in a stable, and when you look at the stable, we're surrounded by stables.
For the Christian Harnessed Horsemen's Association, it's our mission to keep Christ alive in harness racing. But all this good work, God's work, can't continue without help. You see, in order to meet our mission and provide faith-based support to the harness racing community, we rely on the generous donations of individuals like you. As part of our Racing for Christ program, you can pledge a small percentage of your horse's earnings to the Christian Harness Horsemen's Association to support our ministries.
Every one of you here have an opportunity to enter into heaven's. Do you know there's a winner's circle? Into heaven's winner's circle with a victory in Jesus.
We welcome you back to what has been a lovely day and an action-packed day at the Delaware County Fairgrounds. A little bit of time here before they come on the track for race 13, so time to send out some hellos. Maria Rice says, Jack's home and watching now. Can you please give him a birthday shout-out? We did earlier, but we'll give him another one. So there you go, Maria Rice. Happy birthday, Jack Rice. Cal Expo and Running Aces driver Steve Wiseman checks in, says, I'm watching from Canada today. Just wanted to tell you guys are doing an awesome job like always. Thank you very much, Steve. Wendy says hello. Levita Finley, who checked in yesterday, she said, if you need a filler, please remember that the South Florida Training Center still has stalls available. It is a great place to train. For more information, owners, trainers can message me on Facebook or visit our website. And yes, we have a deck too. So thank you to them for checking in on what has been, I don't know, Dave. The only words that keep popping into my head are wild and wacky.
Yeah, I mean, this is a competitive day. The guys want to win here on Jug Day for sure, and you're getting a taste of what people love here is unpredictable and action-packed. This would be the best way to describe it.
You're getting a shot for your money if you're betting today, no doubt about that. Some good pools and some racing that will keep everybody involved into the middle of the race here. I'm going to check out I think I got a message here from Rob Pennington. It says he's watching from the race office back at Harrah's, Philadelphia. Shout out to my fellow Buckeyes, Ohio born and raised right up the road in Marion. Have a great day, Rob Pennington. Here's one from one of your cohorts, Scott Piney.
Yes.
At Caesars.com. He says, can I get a shout out from Dave Bianconi since he is too big time to return my calls?
When did he call me? He is so full of it. That's crazy. Hey, he did put together a great card tomorrow night at Hoosier.
Good. I got to get home in time to be able to put that on my computer.
He big times me all the time. It's like trying to get a hold of Obama, trying to get a hold of him.
This was his chance to get you back. So thanks to those gentlemen for sending those messages as well. Rob Harmon, go Red Wings. Okay, I get it, Rob Harmon. Hockey season is underway now. As I saw during my dinner last night, lots of texts from Ken Workington back in New Jersey. Why was he happy? Because his New Jersey Devils beat my New York Rangers.
And boy, I'll tell you, Ohio was never known for hockey because Cleveland lost their team like 40 years ago. But the Blue Jackets have really taken Central Ohio by storm, that's for sure.
Okay, yeah, hockey's popular here.
Yeah.
Hockey is popular. Even Barry Vickroy said he was going over the preseason game for the Blue Jackets the other night. So let me pull up a list of our guests coming up here in the next couple of races here. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Let's see, we're going to have Bill. We're going to get to talk to Jason Bartlett after the post parade coming up here. That should be fun. This is his very first trip to Delaware, Ohio. So we'll get some reaction from him. He did drive in the Jugette. We're going to revisit Tim Tetrick, of course, who was elected in the Harness Racing's Hall of Fame. And we gave out that breaking news a couple of days ago, or yesterday, I think it was, in the morning when we went on the air. So there's your hint as to who we're going to be talking to coming up.
And the good news is I just got a text, our OHHA swag has been delivered. So we got,
really?
Yes. Most importantly.
Tell him to come back to the booth. We're going to slide him in. I need one more break for the rest of the day, so we're going to hand him out. We want to give him a little airtime on the big day. And speaking of airtime, nobody gets more airtime here at the Little Brown Jug than the one and only Wiz. Wiz, Mr. Pacey Minland, race 13 selections, please. This was a pretty wide open race.
Race number 13, it's the Signature Series, $12,000. This Signature Series is raced at the fairs. They go around the fairs, the best pacers around, and they had this series. It's interesting. It's the highlight. It's kind of the age to feature races at all our county fairs that hold the Signature Series. This is the final, and it's a good one. Mr. Wigglepants, Chris Page, who gets the call on the 6-year-old Mr. Wiggles gelding. Number 1, Mystical Rock. This is going to be a good race. Mr. Barak has Ronnie Wren Jr., and Mr. Barak will try to protect that front end. And number 4, Twin Speak, another real good one, a $20,000 winner this year with Brett Miller in the bike, and Dirty Steve, Jeff Nysonger. This is a really good race. 2-1-4-5. Pace, baby, pace for Miami Valley Gaming. It all starts January 3rd, 2020.
2-1-4-5 for the Wiz there. One wiggle, I guess, to another is about the best way to say that for his picks. Mr. Wiggle Pants, this one certainly has a chance to win. Chris Page sitting in the sulky seat for trainer Sophie DeRocher, I think, has a winner or two so far this week as we await the post parade here for race 13. This is a signature series final for the Pacers, purse of $12,000. And here's another race. The way the theme of the day has been going, I could see anything happening in here.
Yeah, I know Mystical Rock has got a good history in here. My man Todd Cross, who has a lot of info, texted me. I'll give you the Mystical Rock. I want to say he might have won this last year if I can find the text. Here it is. Yep. Mystical Rock, defending champion of Signature Series, won final last year in 54 flat, and now he draws the rail. So
now that's good info.
Yes.
I didn't remember that, but this is a horse that likes to win, so I like horses that like to win. 27 for 110 in his career, good for a bankroll of over $352,000. Good field, though. A lot of different ways you can go. I ended up on the 5, Dirty Steve, not because of the name, but because of recent form. Mark Rowe owns and trains the son of Feelin' Frisky. He's out of Urbana, Ohio. 3 straight wins. I like horses that are getting better and better and better. Jeff Nysonger drove last time, got the drive back, I should say, and he is aboard again, and it's been a pretty good week for him so far. All right, stepping onto the track here, the Signature Series final, $12,000 on the line. There's the bugle. Here is Jason Settlemore.
Leaving the paddock for the 13th race, sponsored by Chevron, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC. Signature Series final, condition pace at 1 mile, a purse of $12,000, win place show, 50-cent purrs, tries and supers. Chevron, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, a field of 8. No changes. Number 1 is Mystical Rock, owned by the Fix It Up Farm of Grable, Indiana, trained by Mervyn Schmucker with Ronnie Wren Jr. Chris Page drives the 2, Mr. Wiggle Pants for Don Tiger at Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania, trained by Sophie DeRocher. The 3 is American Schnapps, owned by Ryan Schaefer of Transfer, Pennsylvania, who also trains Tony Hall at the lines. Brett Miller drives the 4, Twins Peak for Trent Stoller, Stable Incorporated of Markville, Indiana. Trent Stoller trains. The 5 is Dirty Steve, owned and trained by Mark Rowe of Urbana, Ohio, with Jeff Nysonger. The 6 is Hanky L, owned by the Levan Stables Incorporated of Woodstock, Ohio, trained by Herb Levan with Harrison Levan. With the 7, Good Citations, owned by Joe and Joyce Jackson of Urbana, Ohio, trained by James Atwell, Aaron Merriman. And for the outside of the 8, Sharp Looking Finale. And the lessee is James Robert Bowen Jr., who is also the trainer of Sabino, Ohio. Kurt Sugg is in the sulky. That's the field for the 13th. Win Place Show, Perfecta, Trifecta, Superfecta Wagering. And this race sponsored by Chevron, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, the Signature Series final. Good luck, everyone.
Nice wide open betting board here, Dave. 8-5, your current price on Mr. Wiggle Pants. That was the Wiz's pick. But I want to get back to the back paddock here because we're going to talk to another guy that has visited Delaware for the very first time this week. It's a guy we call JB over at Yonkers Raceway, Jason Bartlett. Jason, thanks for taking a couple of moments here. I know it's going to be a big day for you when you hop behind U.S. Captain in that first elimination for the Jug. We'll get to that in just a minute. But tell me what you're experiencing. What do you think of Delaware, Ohio?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. Yesterday we got to get here and walk around the place and experience the fair and everything that's going around. And then today we did the same thing, and wow, look at the people. I mean, they're stacked in the turns here 10, 12 deep. So
you don't see that at Yonkers too often, right?
Yeah, no.
And that's no knock on them. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know you travel. When you do, you travel with an entourage. I know your wife Kristen is with you, but who else is part of the gang this week?
It's just me and my wife. We took the trip out here, and it's just being me and her, Kelly Ford, Amber Buter, and Mom and Pop Buter. So yeah, we've been all here together, Tyler. So we made a trip of it, and it's been great for all of us.
I efforted since the exclamation point on that to get Tyler on the air because he also was driving for the first time this week.
Yeah.
Is he getting any nervous at all with his chance behind American Mercury? I know you guys are tight.
No, I don't think so. He's driven this horse all year, and he's done a superb job with him. Winning the Messenger a couple weeks ago. Tyler's a great guy, great driver, great trainer, and I wish him nothing but the best for him. If I can't win, I hope he does.
Hey, Jason, it's Dave Bianconi. I know you've had some very profitable trips to Ohio already this year, a couple of field trips. You were second with Jimmy Freight in the Battle of Lake Erie back in June, and then you won the Cleveland Trotting Classic with Guardian Angel. How about U.S. Captain here?
Yeah, U.S. Captain, he was really good in the Messenger. I come off the last turn, he kind of got into neutral. They come out, looked at the gate on me, and we were into neutral there. Stopped all of his momentum, but he still hung on for third. With the 6 hole here, I think we're going to have to, play an audible off the gate and see what's going on, who's going forward, who's not, and just go from there. The 6 hole is going to be tough with all these nice horses.
It looks like speed is what has been his best weapon over the past couple of seasons. Now, I don't want to, worry you, but I did select him on top in here, despite those 12-to-1 odds. And when we talked about it in the speaker series this morning before Tony came on, I said, listen, I'm hoping Jason handicaps this race the same way I do. He's going to look at all those inside horses and he's going to leave 1,000. Is there any chance of that?
Oh, there's a chance, that's for sure. I mean, I got to have him on his toes, be ready to go at anything. Like I said, the audible at the gate of who's going to go forward and who's not. We didn't come here to sit 6th off a slow half. We're not going to get nothing anyway. So we got to be aggressive and just hope for the best. Have some racing luck.
You've done a little bit of good for Tony over the course of the summer here when he's been on the road. So has he. What's the difference between U.S. Captain last year when he went 0 for 9 and this year when he's got 6 wins? What has Tony told you about him?
He's just grown up. He was always a really fast colt at 2. He's grown up. I mean, this is a beautiful looking horse when you see him up close. And the best thing about him, he's big, he's powerful, and he gets around a half really, really well. So, and you know what? Like last week shows that he can race from anywhere. He come first over on a really good horse and gave him a run. So, I'm not worried. I'm just going to see how the race develops.
He's got that royal pedigree, being a son of Captain Treacherous, out of that champion American Jewel. So who do you think he's picked up more traits from, the sire or the dam?
Jeez, I don't know. That's a pretty good family right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? I don't want to say.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to wish you the best of luck, whatever you decide to do behind the gate in that race 15. I hope you go forward out of there. Let's have a real good first jug experience. Thanks for taking a couple of moments.
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
Jason Jason Bartlett in the back paddock. Signature Series final pacers. The wings are open. They are lined up, and we are ready to go. Roger Houston or Jason Settlemore has the call.
Well, this race sponsored by Chesrown Chevrolet, Buick GMC, Signature Series Final. A full field of 8, moving up and moving in. The Mike Wepkenberg starting gate on the upper turn, swing to the top of the stretch, and here they come. They're all fan pacing in a very nice start here from the inside. There goes Mr. Wiggle Pants getting the first call. Mystical Rock from the inside protecting the rail there, coming away in second. There is American Schnapps racing third, followed in fourth by Twin Speak off the turn and driving down the backside. Dirty Steve there racing in 5, 6. That's Hanky L. Moved to the outside in 7th. Sharp looking final. Finale in 8th and trailing the field. Good Citations moving by that opening quarter. The opening quarter came and went in 28 seconds flat into that far sweeping turn for the first time, and up top Mr. Wiggle Pants and Chris Page here dictating the fractions, leading it by a length and a half. Mystical Rock is there racing into first over on the rim. Twin Speak is there racing third and advancing towards the leader as they pass the stands and the fans for the first time and head on over to the half. Up top Mr. Wiggle Pants is going to zip them into the half here along the inside. Mystical Rock there in 2. They're halfway home, 56 and 4 fifth. Outside first over there racing in 3. That's Twin Speak. 4th and buried at the pylons American Schnapps. 2nd over the outside racing in 5. Sharp looking Finale. 3rd over on the outside in 6. Dirty Steve. 7th at the pylons. That's Hanky L. And 8th and trailing shuffled back. Good Citations. Down the backside they go. Mr. Wiggle Pants has had it his way throughout. Leads it here by a tight length. Twin Speak is there at the leader's wheel disc into 3/4 and 125 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Mr. Wiggle Pants from the inside trying to make every polo winning one. Twin Speak still coming on from the inside. Mystical Rock is desperately looking for racing room with less than a 16th to go, and they're on their way home from the inside. Mr. Wiggle Pants, Mystical Rock's got the room, comes to him, coming to the wire. Mr. Wiggle Pants gate to wire. Mystical Rock to go second. Looked like Hanky L third, and hanging on to round out the super, the Ford Twin Speak. Time of the mile 1:52 and 4/5. Mr. Wiggle Pants, gate to wire.
Well, Mr. Wiggle Pants wiggles himself all the way to the winner's circle
He
today.
did. Now here's our first race where it kind of lined up right out of the gate here. Number 2, Mr. Wigglepants, Chris Page, able to assume the front rather easily, and that does make a big difference when you get to save a little horse around the first turn. Mystical Rock looked like Ronnie Wren Jr. very, very content to assume that second spot and follow from the pocket. American Schnapp's third, Twin Speak fourth, and he's going to come to the outside. Going to try and apply a little bit of pressure through what I think were, very rated soft fractions, Wendy.
Yeah, I think it certainly got his way today. Was just the way he likes it, to go right down the road as he did at Van Wart. Chris is very closely involved with this pacer, so sits behind him on a daily basis. This is the best Mr. Wigglepants we have seen as of late. So congratulations to the Connections.
And that's second winner of the week for a buddy of mine, Don Tiger, out of Cannonsburg, PA.
Yep, Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Meadows Country.
There he is.
And there he is.
He's got right now.
He had a pink Breeders' Cup shirt on yesterday, and now he's got a bright orange shirt as he trots along over to the winner's circle with his entourage. Mr. Wigglepants, 5th win of the season from just 13 starts. So, horse that's made a little bit of money from them. Again, our low-mo view about 15 feet in front of us inside the infield. And there's Page. He eats up moments like this on days like this. He gets to come back nice and slow, talk to the couple trainers, talk to a couple of fans. And again, it's real close as to what's going to happen here with the battle for leading driver at Delaware this season. I think it's going to come, it might even come down to one of the last races. Won't be the Jug, but it might be the 18th or the 19th, and that's not too far ahead in the future.
Well, that's standard here. That's what these boys do. They just battle it out all day, all year. So why not keep it going right into Jug Week?
Yeah, there's Page. Let's see if he starts talking to anybody in the infield. Now he's banking his way over to us. Looks like Mr. Wigglepants grabbing on a little bit, but here he is. He's acknowledging the crowd there. People giving him some congratulations. So back to the winner's circle for this signature series final. Mr. Wigglepants and Chris Page.
For the 2, Mr. Wigglepants. A 6-year-old bay gelding by Mr. Wiggles out of Ashanti-Panchee by On the Attack, owned by Don Tiger of Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. Trained and also being caretaken today by Sophie DeRoche, and nicely handled here this afternoon by one of the best, Chris Page. Mr. Wigglepants, gate to wire here in 1:52 and 4, posting the 5th win in 2019 and the 24th win of this one's career. This race trophy by Chesrown Chevrolet Buick GMC, signature series final, and in the winner's circle to make the trophy presentations, Bob Geist and Wade Forey. Mr. Wigglepants, it's now official. 2164 official. 2164 official.
Here's the prices for the 13th. The 2, Mr. Wigglepants, $520, $280, $220. The 1, Mystical Rock, $340, $260. The 6, Hanky L, $6 the show. The $1 Perfecta, 2 over the 1. The $6, 50-cent Trifecta, 216, $76.20. 50-cent Superfecta, 2164, 182.50.
Let's go upstairs to Jason for the rundown.
Here's the rundown for the 13th race. Number 1, Mystical Rock 2. The 2, Mr. Wigglepants, the race winner. Timed at 1:52 and 4. The 3, American Schnapps 5. The 4, Twin Speaks 4. The 5, Dirty Steve 7. The 6, Hanky L 3. The 7, Good Citations 8. And the 8, Sharp Lookin' Finale 6. Recheck the rundown top to bottom. It should read 215 473 86 on the bottom. Time of the mile 1:52 and 4/5. Well, the upcoming 14th race is the Miss Versatility Final, sponsored by the all-important Alaraj Farms. And at this time, we ask that Mr. Jeff Gural, Mr. Stoles, Mr. Geiger, and all those associated with Alaraj Farms to head on over to the winner's circle to the judges' infield stand for the trophy presentation. The upcoming 14th race. Win, place, show, 50-cent perfecta, trifecta, superfecta wagering. Field of 7. There are no changes. 14 minutes till post time for the Miss Versatility final, sponsored by Alaraj Farms.